Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come with us today as we gather our sweet potatoes. They've been planted right at about 100 days, and I mean, it's kind of like Christmas. You never know what you're going to get, so we're going to go see.
We did do a test run the other day, and they looked okay.
About a week ago, I guess, now. We've got sweet potatoes planted down in what we call the creek garden, and we've got some up here at the house. I don't know if we'll make it to the ones at the house today, but we've got a lot of rain in the forecast the next couple days, and we're worried in that creek garden it's going to get too wet, and then they'll obviously get too big, so we're going to go ahead and get those up.
Yeah, that's our biggest concern is down there, because if it gets wet down there, it'll be muddy for days, and we won't be able to get back in there to dig them. Whereas these up here in the yard, it's a different type of soil, and
it don't matter.
It could rain an inch today, and 2 days from now, we'd still be able to dig them. So
this is a modified tobacco trailer that Andy made a few years ago. It's usually what we put our Irish potatoes in, and then we usually put our field corn in it. Well, we're just going to take it with us to put our sweet potatoes in it, just to let them cure for a couple of weeks before we actually put them in the basement.
Yeah, so a lot of times if we'd have had nice weather in the forecast, I would actually leave them laying on top of the ground for a few days, let the sun shine on them, you know, maybe 2 or 3 days before I actually put them up and put them into storage. But I figure since we've got rain coming, we best put them under, because you don't want them to get rained on. So we're just going to lay them in here, back them under the barn shelter, and let them lay until we put them up. And typically, as far as storing goes, we just put them in a crate in the basement, don't we?
Oh yeah, and they've kept great. I mean, we still got sweet potatoes from last year that are still fine.
Yep, still look great. So they keep the best of pretty much any crop you can grow.
Yep.
With minimal effort. So let's hook a trailer up and go down there and see what we can find. Got our side kit back here.
What we call the creek garden, and here's our sweet potato jungle with a few pumpkin vines mixed in between.
Yeah, typically, y'all, I would bring the tractor in here and mow these down with the bush hog. I don't think it's going to be necessary because I know exactly where the row is, but and also we've got pumpkin vines run out in here, and I don't really want to mess with those just yet, but I would about bet you can see where the corn was. We've got vines that are run out here too into the corn, and there's vines run over that way. Usually everywhere that the potato touches the ground and makes a root, it usually starts to form another potato. So there's probably even potatoes out in amongst over there. But our actual row is planted right here. And I think I'm just going to pull the vines out away from the row, dig those, and I'm going to leave these vines over here. If they live, they live. If they don't, they don't. If they get messed up, it don't matter. But when I come down here to plow this up to plant my cover crop, I'll pay close attention, and I may roll out a potato or two when I do that. And we'll just let them be, because they're probably not big. Them potatoes that'll be out there on the vines wouldn't be big potatoes right now, so they wouldn't even be ready. So we'll just see how that goes. I mean, I ain't worried about them over there. I'm just after what's in that row. What kind of worm is that?
I don't know, is that a caterpillar?
Is it like a cutworm? Well, cutworms are normally black though.
That's interesting.
Somebody tell me what kind of worm that is. Looks like a caterpillar. He's curled up. It ain't an armyworm. I think armyworms are black. It may be a big cutworm. I don't know what that thing is.
Well, if it's cutworm, put him out of his misery.
He's going out there.
He can go cut out there?
Yeah, he can go cut out there in the woods somewhere. So, what did we plant these plants about?
Yeah,
our spacing was about like that.
Probably.
I think this front half right here is red sweet potatoes. I believe they were Beauregards.
There's one. Hope they're bigger than that.
I hope they're bigger than that too. If they ain't,
no, we'll just stop.
yeah,
Just
a little
stop
bitty
now.
thing. Right there's a big one. Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's a pretty
That's a
tater.
good size.
So it looks like that's all that was under that plant.
Yeah, these had a hard go there for a while.
Yeah, see that one right there never hardly even made anything.
I know a lot of folks in the last sweet potato video we did last year said that we can, the greens on sweet potatoes are edible, and we know that, but I mean, if y'all was my neighbor, I'd give them to you if you wanted them.
That's about right. These first three are the ones that like to never come out because they kept getting eat off. So
That's not a bad one.
it's just one.
Good little bacon potato.
It's fixing to get better. I know that. Yeah, look at the size of the vine.
Well, that's true.
The
and
vine's
look
completely different.
And look at the heel underneath.
Y'all see how that ground's busted open right there? That's a good indication that your sweet potatoes are ready to dig anyways, when they start busting that ground. And you can just see how massive looking that vine is. So there's probably a good sized sweet potato under there.
Yeah. There
There's
it is.
one. Oh my gosh. Look at this, the football. Look at that.
How did we do that again this year?
It's only been 100 days since they've been planted. I don't know, I mean, we got some good size ones too. Y'all, these right here are our favorite size. These are okay.
And we know they're edible. Like,
There's nothing wrong with that. We just don't like them that big.
we like baked sweet potatoes.
I mean, I guess you could bake that right there. It'd take you half a day to cook it.
No,
and
I cooked some of them big ones from last year.
That big?
And it took hours, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. It'd take half a day to cook it.
When I was making sweet potato casseroles and stuff. They say you can cut them up and can them.
Well, maybe we should try that. No, you know what's gonna happen, y'all. Behind the scenes, she's gonna say, I told you so. Cause she was been wanting to dig them now for a couple of weeks, ain't you?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want them to get big like it did last year.
I ain't gonna say I told you so. That's right there. I'm gonna sit him off to the side.
Look right there now, that's a beautiful potato.
That is, that's perfect. That's a good,
But
good.
I think the one that's gonna be right here is gonna be huge. Oh, that's,
No,
well, we got
that
one
one's not
big one in
terrible
there.
though. At least it ain't like that other one just now. So I like them about like this too. I don't mind them like that. That's good.
That's some nice potatoes there.
And all that's just personal preference. Like I said, I mean, I know we can totally eat these, but
Look what all was under here.
preference-wise, I like them a little
Look there.
smaller. Golly.
So I have also many times dug sweet potatoes with the plow behind the tractor, like y'all saw us get our other potatoes up, and they work good, but I've cut more than I prefer to cut with that plow, haven't I?
It's the way they grow, like a
Where they
ball,
grow down
like-
deep,
yeah.
like a taproot almost,
Yeah.
and you'll end up cutting them off.
Yeah, they ain't like the Irish potatoes.
So I have found that digging these things by hand is the best way to go to save most of your potatoes. We hadn't grew sweet potatoes down here in what?
Years. It's
Yeah.
been many years.
It
But
was
that first time, I think it was user error.
well. It was back
Knowing what I
before
know
this
now.
garden was this big.
Oh yeah, it used to be a tiny little. open
Yeah. So
spot.
many years ago, this garden was a lot of trees, and we just had one little opening over there that we kind of grew a little bit of garden in. But we just keep on making it bigger because we got such good dirt down here.
Yep. Especially in a dry year. And so sweet potatoes, if you're new to sweet potatoes, you do need to let them cure, and kind of the older they get, I think the better they get, you know.
Yeah.
They
Oh
get-
no.
You broke it.
I broke it.
What'd you do that for?
I didn't even put that much pressure on it.
But the longer you let them sit, I think the sweeter they get. So if you go out and dig your sweet potatoes and then go straight to the house and cook them, it's not going to be it's not going to taste or have the texture of a potato that's set for 2 or 3 weeks.
And they're a little more starchy.
Yeah.
Right there's Part of it, I broke it off again.
I wonder why it was so tender.
I don't know. I think that's all that's under there, though. This is exactly why I wanted to get them up today. Because had these stayed here
They really would have been too
much
big.
longer, they would have been pretty big.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, we learned from our last sweet potato video that a lot of people won't get their sweet potatoes up till it frosts on them. And they always told us you didn't want the frost to kill your vines before you got the potatoes.
Because it'll rot your potatoes.
That's what we were always told.
We ain't never done it. That's just what, yeah, that's just what people say.
But after we put out that last video, we found out that a lot of people wait till the frost gets their sweet potato vines.
But if we wait till the frost, they'd be
huge.
gigantic.
And some people may want huge potatoes. And if that's what you want, that's
Perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine if that's what you do, but we don't want huge sweet potatoes.
So are we at the purple ones now?
It's right past this stick.
Oh, okay.
This will be the last red one. Now all those up at the house are red.
Right. That's perfect right there. That's why it's a good.
Look at that. They wrapped around each other.
Yeah, that's usually the way they are. They're like in a bundle. I don't know why some of them ain't like that.
I like the way they look down here though.
I do too.
You know, they turned out nice down here. We may have some up there at the house that still got some vole damage to them.
Yeah.
Look at this. This right here show you just how much rain we've had. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but right there, that's pebbles of fertilizer that never dissolved that was under the ground.
What I found. That is a big one.
It's just about as bigger than that other one that's over there.
First one. That's a pile of potatoes.
But look at the roots on them things. And them red ones didn't have roots like that.
Now, so I think that sweet potatoes are like the perfect, you know, even though we're not necessarily like preppers per se, never considered myself a prepper, this is like the ultimate food because they're so easy to start the slips and I don't know, they're not hard to grow.
Yeah, and you keep this right here and next year
you'll have all the plants
you can have all the plants you need.
Yep.
And they're
very good for you. They're full of vitamins.
I was going to say a very, very healthy thing to eat.
Yep. There was a pile under that. If we got that many all the way out through there, we're
going to have something, ain't we?
Yeah. Golly.
Yeah. Look at there. A nightcrawler.
Golly.
He's a big one.
That's a heck of a worm. That is.
Take him fishing.
You daggone right. Go on, little buddy. Go over there.
There's my plant.
So you can tell it's your plant because it's so thick, right?
Yeah, you see that big stalk coming out of the ground. Look right there. Just waiting for me to pull them up. I better loosen them up just a little bit with this. Look at that.
Golly.
That's beautiful. Don't get much better than that, does it?
No, that's perfect. And they're a good size. So off of that one hill, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 potatoes on one plant.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Yeah, dig around in there. There we go. They just come up like that. Just throw it down. Look, there's you a whole nother handful.
You know, the perfect scenario would be
What?
if you had this right here where you could tie your cows or something into it. I wouldn't want to use pigs, but if you had just cows that would come in here and graze all the leaves off.
You don't think they'd squish your potatoes?
That would be the only thing. Or if they stepped on the road. We could have about done that, just opened up the fence and let the deer graze them off.
Yeah.
Then you could find them.
Here you go, little man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't want to put them in the bucket, but the bucket's full.
All right, I'll go empty it.
There's going to be some nice ones under that one right there, I feel like.
Trying to be easy.
Be easy with them.
Thank you, sir. Mine is so hard to pull up.
Let me get it started for you.
Yeah. I want to pull up one.
Okay, you can pull up the next one.
Okay. Hey.
There you go. See what's under there. I'll be back with the bucket.
Jacob, I got your whole family out here. A sweet potato is this?
It's crazy.
One that didn't ever
Didn't never
quite
make a
make.
potato.
Did you see my other house split in half? Like that? Like this?
You did.
Not the potatoes, the bones.
Now once you get those up, dig all around, trying to find more. Cause I'm sure there's more than that under there.
All right, just throw it, lay it over here after you get it pulled up.
I'm going to dig.
The potatoes under there?
I don't know how much longer the fork on my handle here is gonna last.
Why?
I mean the handle on my fork.
All right, if it's really deep like that, you gotta be real easy. It'll break.
A little bit more, and then
Then you can go on to the next.
Did it again.
Hit another one, didn't you?
Did it right on top of the ground. I just wasn't expecting it to be there.
I'm just making sure it ain't none hiding under here something.
let's see if we dig. I'm digging like a puppy.
That's all right.
Yep, I believe I'm gonna have to find me a new handle for my digger.
Hey, I'm trying to dig.
Is it bent?
No, it's the wood's
Oh,
starting to break right inside of there.
Look, I'm just chilling. Be careful.
I'm gonna lay that right on top of where it came from, so we don't lose it. There might be more under there.
okay.
I'm thinking about. Oh, wait.
Right here's one, Jacob, right beside of me.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mother.
You're welcome, Mom.
Come on.
Look at this monster.
That is, that's a nice one.
This one right here ain't gonna break loose.
Maybe it wasn't ready yet.
Golly.
Oh, let me have some potatoes.
So 3 5-gallon buckets off of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, running over 5-gallon buckets like that. I feel like that's pretty good, especially no more work than we.
You know, we just planted them. They,
Yeah.
So these potatoes did have fertilizer under them, which is something I don't typically do with sweet potatoes.
Well, that's true. I forgot you did that.
You know, normally I don't fertilize sweet potatoes because they grow so fast and grow so good anyways. But the reason these had fertilizer on them, I already had the row laid off with the fertilizer bedded up in the row. And at that time, we didn't know what we was gonna plant here.
Yeah, that's right.
Now those up at the house have not had fertilizer. But
yeah, they look about as good as these.
yeah, I'm gonna say that these purple vines, the vines on the purple potatoes have been so much more vigorous than the red potatoes that were just right down there.
And they're beautiful.
The whole time. The vines were pretty and very vigorous this time. Whereas the Beauregards down there, the vines looked good, but they weren't near as dark green and vigorous as these purple ones.
Right. Well, that's one big task off the list.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
All we've got left in this garden now is the pumpkins. Once the pumpkins are gone, most of our sweet corn we have picked and already ate. There's a few ears left out there, but really they're no good. The bugs have eat them up. So we've just got to get our pumpkins out of here, and this garden is ready to.
It's about done.
Yeah, it's ready to put to bed for the winter after that. So
Been one more ride this summer, ain't
it
it?
has. It's hard to believe that it's that time again. Those are pretty flowers. They look like a morning glory.
Yeah.
And look, everywhere in here is pumpkins, still growing. I hope I didn't mess the vines up too bad. Look back in there. It's hiding up in there. So we've got pumpkins scattered all out in here.
So let me show y'all the perfect little snack that I eat when I come down here. So the gherkins have found the tomato vines. So I just come over here and I pick me a few of these. Dirt and all.
They ain't gonna hurt you.
Come give me some little spoon tomatoes. Look at that. That's a good looking little snack right there. And you eat a tomato. Then you eat one of these.
They go good together?
They go really good together. I love them little things right there. They're so good.
The little gherkins? We'll have to remember to plant some more next year.
I like them because they taste like a cucumber, but I don't have to worry about eating a big old cucumber. I can just stand here and eat them like this.
But we do know that if we plant them again, they'll be on a trellis.
Oh, yeah.
Because
But they're very, like, I mean, look how many's hanging under there.
Let's see if I can find them. Oh, yeah, I see them there.
They're everywhere.
Little things that look like little miniature watermelons hanging there.
But they taste like cucumbers.
But there's one.
A very strong cucumber.
See, all this little section right here was them things, but they've got taken over by the
We
weeds.
didn't realize they climbed. We didn't do our research.
Well, we didn't know anything about them when we planted them. Man, the tomatoes, though. There's a pile of tomatoes over here, Megan.
I'm sure it is, dear.
They're just waiting.
Megan's about to mate it out.
Are you done with tomatoes now?
I'm about to mate it out. I'll eat a few like this right here, but.
You know when I go to bush hog this,
So y'all, let
I'm
me show
going to
you.
hit pumpkins
So
everywhere.
there's a pumpkin right here, but the pumpkins are planted over there.
Way over there.
Yeah,
Way over on the other side of the corn.
yeah.
And it's plumb over here growing a pumpkin. You need, what do you say this is across here, Megan?
You need just an entire garden.
50 foot at least, ain't it? If not more.
It's big. I don't
It's
know.
probably 75 foot from that side to that side. We should have just planted a row of pumpkins right down the middle and just let them take the garden.
Just let
Them
'em have-
things can sprawl.
Let them have the whole garden.
Just let them have it all. No, you know, our pumpkins have done good down here this year, but I think next year that if I plant more pumpkins, I do believe they need to be higher up on some upland somewhere because
Got too wet down
it's
here.
too wet down in here, and I feel like they got eat up with disease a little bit earlier than they should have.
Why do these skin look so weird on them? Wonder what kind these are.
That's a pale looking tomato.
I know, but feel of the skin. And they all have that.
Ooh. It feels like some type of fruit, not a tomato. Is it good?
Wonder what that is.
It's not juicy.
No, and when you bite it, it's like not biting a tomato.
What is it? Like,
No, it tastes like a tomato.
so is it good?
It's all right. It's odd. It's
Yeah.
not. It's yellow, so it ain't got all that acid. I like the acid of tomatoes.
Yeah,
But-
but it ain't all juice going everywhere when you bite into
No, it's
it.
all meat. Well,
Yeah. You don't reckon that's some type of paste yellow tomato or something, is it? But the skin feels weird on it. It almost feels like leather.
I don't know.
So for anybody that don't know, this group of tomatoes right here is a pack of heirloom seeds that somebody sent us.
And it just said heirloom tomato seeds.
Yeah, it just said heirloom tomato seeds, and we have no idea what all they were. But so far from what we've figured out, we've got some type of pink tomato, now this strange yellow tomato.
There was another yellow tomato too.
Yeah, there was a different yellow tomato,
Down
and the
there.
spoon tomatoes, and there's a cherry tomato, and what looks to be a Cherokee purple.
They've
So-
done well down here though.
They have. These are some of the, even though the vines don't look that great now, but these have been some of the best tomatoes we've had the whole year, and they were planted late.
Very
Have you
late.
seen the ones in our garden? I think we're actually going to have some tomatoes on
I ain't
those.
even looked at them. Ain't that awful?
I think we're going to have tomatoes on those before frost.
You really think so?
I do.
We'll see. I need
We're
to
not going to get a bunch, but we might at least get like one tomato.
I need to go out there and look at them.
Our salad patch is coming up real good too. The ground's starting to turn green.
Those are just the weirdest tomatoes I've ever seen.
Who knows? All right.
Well, are we going to dig those at the house today too?
I don't even know what time it is. I'll look at my watch here in a minute. We'll figure it out.
So now we've come up to the house, and a couple of years ago, we took a notion and Andy tilled up a few spots here in the yard. Last year we planted sweet potatoes out here, the best sweet potatoes we had ever grown at that time. We done pretty good down here at the creek though just now.
We did. I'm tickled with that.
Yeah, I'm real tickled too. All these are Beauregard, the orange sweet potatoes that we've planted up here. But we've got, there's actually only one row there.
Yeah, they just spread out.
Yeah, there's
Same
one row
over
there
We
and
got
one row there. So we decided while we was at it, we would just keep on keeping on it, won't we?
Yeah, now these have been planted just as long as those across the creek. We do have some over here in some raised beds that hadn't been planted. They're probably what?
They're probably at least a couple weeks behind.
3 or 4 weeks behind. So they won't get pulled up till later on. You know, where these vines have started changing colors, I'm wondering if they ain't already too big.
We planted these a day earlier than those down there. Right there it is.
Yep.
You gonna loosen that up? You want me to just
Well, I tell you what, you keep on pulling them vines and I'll dig this up. They're a little easier to pull here. They ain't rooted into the ground near as bad. Just put them in a... Jacob, you fell again. We'll just put them in a pile and we'll throw these vines over to the cows.
All right.
Watch the ants. Look at the ants right there.
Oh, me.
I'm not gonna dig them.
Look at how much drier this land is.
See that? Oh, yeah, them's good size.
Yeah.
Those are perfect.
That's about what you want, but there was only 2 under there. No, maybe there's another one. Oh my goodness.
Oh, did you find a football?
Not quite a football, but it's a good sized one. But there's a ton of ants, so I don't know why them ants are so bad.
They usually are. I think they were last year.
They were.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'm real curious to see though. I think that when I plow through that down across the creek, I'm about positive I'm gonna find more down there.
Some more.
I think I will. Up here, I don't hardly need the fork.
Because the ground's so soft?
Yeah, and they grow different up here. They're spread out in this dirt.
Oh,
I wonder if it's because it's not as loose as that dirt down there. Because down there, they tended to grow straight down. But right here, they're sort of fanned out.
I'm almost to the end.
Good job, Jacob.
Uh-oh.
There he has been.
Mr. Vole ate on the top of that potato.
Mr. Ball.
I have a feeling when we get to this next one, we'll find a whole lot more of that.
Over there.
Yeah.
Oh my.
We should have dug these up 3 weeks ago.
You've been telling me. We need to be digging them. We need to dig them. Golly. Look at that.
Oh! Now that's a football.
That is a football.
Now there's a pile of potatoes under this plant. Look. Ha ha, look right there.
Oh, don't break it. We can use that for decoration.
For
Think so?
decoration. Look at how that root's growed over top of it.
Yeah. Holy. Which one's bigger? I think this one's still bigger than the one that I showed with a football.
What is that? Is that
Where a
from the
vole,
vole?
I bet a vole ate on it and it healed back over.
They were huge.
Holy.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this.
They're massive.
I got a round one over here.
Do ya?
There ain't a hole that doesn't got a big tater in it. All the holes got a big tater.
That's a good size one.
Look at that one. Look at that one.
I think that one had some vole damage on it too and it healed over.
Look at that one. So they got
Yep.
hole right here. Is that vole damage but it healed over?
Maybe. Well, Megan,
It's a worm.
Too big again this year.
maybe we can try some canned sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
We've never done that.
I'm not gonna sit down.
That's what I had a lot of people suggest last year to do with the big ones. I just never got around to it. I did bake several of them though to make like sweet potato casserole and stuff.
Look, they were already starting to grow new slips. Now these are perfect right there. This one ain't. This one's a monster. Golly. We might near got as many potatoes off that one row as we did down there, didn't we? Of course, these are bigger.
Well, yeah, but they like the sweet potatoes really like it up here. They did real good up here last year.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, that's all of them.
That's a mound of them there.
But if they'd all been a little smaller, it wouldn't have looked.
Wouldn't have looked that big.
Yeah.
Well, we got one more bed to tackle. You want to do it?
Might as well while the getting's good. Andy,
Huh?
come here. This one's so big it dug itself up.
It's pushed out of the ground completely. Well, them right over there is the same way. They're pushed out of the ground. I thought you were going to show me a potato that was eat up with a vole.
I mean, it might be. I don't know. But I just like pulled that vine back and I was like, wow. The vole had a fabulous time on that one.
That would have been a football. Or whatever you call it.
Covered in ants.
I'm surprised the hurricane didn't blow them over. I mean, they were covered by these somehow.
That's right.
And get no wind. Well, I'm still surprised it didn't like tear them to pieces. Because some of them boys, we gotta have some of them.
Yeah, we usually give Grandma some.
Look what I found!
Yep.
What'd you find?
A sweet potato.
She found a sweet potato, Mama.
I don't know. What?
Can I put this one in the trailer? Look.
That is a good one. Yeah, go ahead. Well, there's some up here I can't get up whenever you get up this way.
Maggie, look at this one.
You probably should check the other holes too.
Where? I
Right
see them.
there. Right there. The ones on the end down there, the one the voles eat up so bad.
Right beside the mole plant. I can't believe that ground.
It was supposed to be like this, I guess.
Yeah. It might be okay, baby.
That ground's hard as a rock.
You may have to let Daddy come.
Look,
Wow.
Lee.
another big one. Over here, Mama, up here. This is your problem.
Look, the vole ate this tater up.
Ain't no tater left.
And look at what is here. All these little bitty mini taters. The little baby taters is still there. It's like it resprouted.
Put it right here. Put it right here. And keep put them right here. They have gold on it. Mama, keep put them right here.
All right. What'd you say, little man?
You put them right here too.
That's good.
Maggie,
Be
take
careful
these
with 'em
over
'cause
there.
They'll break.
Right there, them three.
Okay. And keep down them right there. Keep down them. You have to back over.
It's a workout pulling them vines out.
Maybe I should have kept the Volex here, like kept on putting it out or something. But you have to find their hole, and I hadn't seen no more holes.
I'll make you itchy. Yeah, I'll make you itchy.
I wonder if it had something to do with it being so dry, and they hunted, you know, the potatoes made way down deep where there was moisture.
Maybe. Because they are. These ain't coming up easy.
Look at there. That and split, and it's been eaten. Ain't none of them under that no count.
So these will split when you get a lot of rain, when it's been dry. That's what happened on that side, and then on this side, Mr. Vole had him a great time.
Well, we got us a pretty good batch of potatoes here.
Oh yeah.
Might be a little bit big.
Maybe we should not plant potatoes next year.
That'll do us. So here's my plan for the big ones. If I get around to it, I'll can them. And I'd like to make maybe some sweet potato pies here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe I can make a few, take around to some folks.
So, can you make sweet potato pies like you did those fried pear pies? Does that work?
I don't know why I wouldn't.
That would be delicious.
That would be really good, actually.
Oh man.
Maybe I'll do that.
That would be
you know
really
what?
good.
I could probably make them with canned sweet potatoes, cube them up and can them.
Yeah, after you've canned them. I think that sounds like a plan.
That sounds really good.
It does.
That'd be wild looking with them purple ones in there.
It would, wouldn't it? It'd trip people out if they go to
would.
bite one of those.
I believe I may try that, Andy. That sounds great.
Okay.
I won't try it today, of course, but once
Well, no, we know. Well, they ain't ready
once
to.
they set and everything.
They need to set anyways.
That's a nice pile of potatoes. So
So this plus what's already in the trailer,
we done all right.
we've done pretty good.
Yep.
And like I said, I about guarantee down there in the bottom, if I went through that with a plow, I'd find more.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure I will.
But
All right, let's get these in the trailer. Then sometime this evening I'll go hook up to my grapple and
okay.
get all these vines up.
Okay.
'Cause it's not hooked up right now.
All right. Well, today's video consisted of mostly just
Potatoes.
sweet potatoes, but it took us a while, and we're thankful for the harvest that we did get because it's been a tough year for gardening all the way around. And next time, you might listen to me.
Think
I'm
so?
just kidding. I'm just picking.
Well, I did notice that we've got some wormholes in some of these big potatoes that's up here, and so I'm curious about that because I do know there is a worm that'll eat into the sweet potato.
Well,
I don't know what the name of it is though, and I don't know if that means those potatoes are bad or good.
we'll just have to keep an eye on those. I
Yeah,
guess.
we'll keep a check on them.
Yep. But anyways, guys, hope y'all really enjoyed today's video. Hope you might have learned a little something. And until we see y'all on the next one,
Y'all have a good one.
have a good one.